Peace, family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I want to do was talk to my chosen ones about spiritual dating being dead. Spiritual dating, physical dating. This dating world, I don't even know why we call it dating, you know what I mean? But it's dead. It's dead. This is something that we have to slowly start removing out of our process. We have to start implementing more discipline, which is hard for us, you know, the ones who's already been molded and formed into this shape. But it's not too late for the younger generation. You know, a lot of us got our legs cut off. Once you get your leg cut off, you got to formulate how to live the rest of your life with your leg cut off. But a lot of people don't look at their actions and what they're doing with the same severity because it's not any actual physical repercussions that look like it's taking place. But it's always taking place. Why you believe in spiritual soul ties but don't believe in having all of these other entities in your vessel? I know a lot of people like to say, men, we can have all the partners we want to. To a degree, I understand it. And when you look at natural law, it kind of makes sense. But when you look at it in a godly light, and you think about history, or you look at some of the other cultures around the world, they aren't doing any dating. You don't see women with multiple men. You don't see it. That's not a thing. If you look back in history, kings have always been able to have multiple women. Always. Females have always looked down and frowned upon for being for the streets. But we in a Western society where you got the self-aware witches out here that's for the streets, and then you got the sheep women who are out here moving according to the demonic playbook, not with ill intentions, but doing witchy behaviors because that's the sheep they're following what the masses is doing. That is not applying the discipline within themselves. See, it's a little different with men in how we have to discipline ourselves, because most women know that straight men want to see what's up with the sacral chakra. And that's not all they want, but that is on the to-do list. But when you out here like mixing and mingling, for one, we don't have people around us that's helping us vet certain beings, you know. Women are supposed to have the men in their lives, brothers, you know, male cousins, father, uncles, helping them vet the man. That's not the process anymore. So now you have women out here vetting men in survival mode, which is very dangerous. You also have witchy men out here who's trying to take natural law and flip it into their liking. Oh, I can have sex with as many people as I want to, it doesn't affect me. Actually, it does. It does. And when you've been a male out here who is genetically blessed to look a certain way because your mom and dad did a good job with your genetics, and you lived a life of being involved with a lot of women, you understand that it's no substance in having a million gazillion partners, and there is no building value or substance within it. I was talking to one of my aunts about my grandfather. I never met either one of my grandfathers. The one on my mom's side passed away before I was even born. And then the one on my dad's side, he got killed before I could meet him. I think I was still an infant, but he got killed when I was young. But a lot of my family would tell me how solid of a man my granddad was, you know, how a lot of people looked up to him. He was known for like his karate, his boxing. Like warriors fighting just always been in my DNA. The more I go down the line, the more history I get as far as why I am the way I am, and then I just mold it right into it. But my granddad was loved and respected by a lot of people in Harlem. That's where my dad's side of the family was raised at. And even though my granddad had all this love and respect, admiration from the community, from his family, my granddad had 2 families. So I got aunts on this side and uncles, then I got aunts and uncles that got a different mom on this side. So, but what's wild is most of them are still Fraziers, besides one side, which is like Middletons. But most of them, he still got both sides to do Fraziers. And I was just processing, just like, if someone or a man, a king, was going to have his kingdom, the way my granddad did it, he made it work. He took care of both families. Both families knew of each other. It wasn't some big secret that was happening. And all the children were still able to mingle. It wasn't like this big animosity between the families. And it helped me understand on a more natural level that if men are going to have multiple women, you have to be able to provide and take care of them as a family, either all in one or individually. We got a lot of men out here that's not taking care of shit. They just out here trying to run around and bust everything down. But like I was saying before, when you're a man who's already been in this space with being involved with a lot of women, you understand that that affects you as well too. You try to walk around as if it don't affect you, but that's why we carry it the way we do to a certain degree. And that's why once you realize, like, even porn stars and all these other people like that's in these other industries, most of them have a person. Most of them have a person. Maybe not at the time they're ripping and running, but usually afterwards. There is no value in having millions and billions of people. But we as men understand the options and how the dating pool is set up for the women, and how women are born with their value. A good portion of it, not all of it. You have to have some substance within to retain yourself and to retain your person, your family, all of that. But what I mean is your ability to reproduce. As a man out here, why I say that this spiritual dating realm is dead, because when you meet someone outside of high school, just in the real world, you understand that majority of women are not single. They may tell you they're single, but they have at least 1 or 2 guys that's their main guys that they talk to and deal with. And if they don't got 1 or 2 main guys that they deal with and talk to, they have a rotation. They have a roster between 5 to 10 of them. Some of them they sexually engage with, some of them they don't sexually engage with. So when you transition from high school to the real world, high school, most women are still virgins. They haven't been with a lot of people. You know, you can kind of get their backgrounds a little bit because you're in school with them. They usually more invested in you. But once you get out here into this real world, you're fighting or you're trying to date someone who's already fucking someone, who's already involved and invested in someone else, or someone else is involved and invested in them. So you automatically start off in a secondary position and then trying to fight for a first place position. Me personally, I'm not no secondary, I'm not no side nigga. I don't do any of those things. It's like when I deal with the opposite sex, when it goes into those spaces, or I'm running into somebody new or something new, we got those first initial meets to see how into me you are, and then I can reciprocate that energy back. If it's one of those things where I could tell what playbook you use, I'm not gonna put out that kind of energy. And if it's like standoffish energy, or it gives me that masculine energy, then I already understand there's a lot of other men in the picture, and that's a picture that I don't want to be a part of. That's why I say it's weird out here in the spiritual dating realm, because you talking to someone, but they already have multiple entities that's connected to them. You see how the other spirits are intertwining in the mix? You don't know the other 4 or 5 guys that she's talking to. She don't have to be sexually engaged, but it's gonna be talking. Somebody's gonna be busting it down. That's just how it works. Nobody is using their hands and toys all day. That's not how it works. And most women are not that damn disciplined to not be getting pleased. That's just not how it operates out here. You can say the same thing for men on the other side of the spectrum. But when you speaking from the creator and the godly side of the spectrum, and you're a man, you already not making yourself as accessible and available to every single demonic, witchy female that's out there possible. Because if it was godly women out here, it would be abundance right now. That's not the case right now. When you leave your house, especially during the summertime, it's like whore central outside. I even see people dressing their little ones like little whores, and I'm just like, yo, this is mind-blowing. I remember we used to have workout clothes that you wore in the gym to work out, but now the workout clothes have transitioned to outside. So it's like it's way too much to battle in this spiritual dating realm to be in the mix of it, and a lot of us happen to be caught up in the mix of it. But the point of this is to say we have to be more available for the younger generation. For some of us, our leg already been cut off. We got to figure out how to survive with one leg. It is what it is, you know. But a lot of beings don't want to take that accountability on themselves, like, damn, all right, I fucked up, so now I got to make sure I do better by the next generation. You know what I mean? They lungs haven't been tainted with tobacco, so let me not taint their lungs with tobacco. It's like, people don't want to sacrifice themselves out here, and they look at it like they have to be the it factor. It's like, that's not how it's gonna work. That's not how it's gonna work, you know? And I know for me, being out here in this weird spiritual dating realm, it's like I got my own spot, I got my own car, I got my own space, I'm doing my own thing. But it's like, I could be having a person over at my house every single night of the day if I wanted to. But me operating on the creator's time doesn't allow me to do that. I know the spiritual energies that I'm taking in, one, into my house, into my vessel as well too. And if you ever realize, when you engage with some of these witchy motherfuckers, witchy women engage with witchy ass men, men engage with witchy women, after you have an engagement, you feel a little offsetting. If you are somebody who's spiritually connected and grounded, you will feel that person's vibrations. You will have a much better connection to them, and it's usually really uneasy. It's usually a little disturbing. You usually can tell how much they don't give a fuck. Like, it's all sensories going off in the spiritual realm. Y'all linked on a whole different level. That's why I say, like, the spiritual dating realm is dead now. It's dead. The way I process now, it's like, either we building, you only can come at me 2 ways, right? And I'm a toss up however I feel to choose to take the second way. But we either building or we fucking. 2 of the things right there. And the way the game is set up right now, the women have turned into men. So now the women are doing more of, hey, they're gonna come sleep with you and disappear like you just another sausage link on the breakfast table. You know, it's weird having to deal or be involved with those engagements, right? But it makes it much easier as a man when you operating with the Creator, when you just can place them in these spaces right here. For me, I have 3 spaces because I also help and heal and communicate and engage a lot more. So it's not just those 2 categories. And even with the just sex category, this is like a miscellaneous category, because there's a lot of people that I say no to, I cut off, and I don't deal with, engage with. But when you're dating, it's always this get to know you phase. I want to get to know you. I want to get to know you. Get to know you. First of all, when you getting to know somebody, especially in today's society, if you want to get to know them on that intimate level, it's hard, because as a man, you know that it's gonna be niggas in the picture. So even if you're not the one that's getting it right now, you may be getting it later, it's still other guys in the picture. I'm a leader. It's my program over this way. So when I communicate and engage, it's like, you try and get down with my program or you not. If you're not trying to get down with the program, then I can put you in this communicate, engage with, help heal, if that's the case, sex category. Even though it don't have to be sex, I'm just labeling these categories right here because this is how we process as men. And then on the other side, if you're trying to build something, then now, but if you're getting down with the program, now you can start implementing things that y'all can start building and working on together. The objective should be to learn, build, and grow together on one accord. You got the Creator, you got man following the Creator, you got woman following man and the Creator. Then you got the children. Once you get this structure down, it makes life extremely easy. It's just a lot of people are using the wrong playbook and they don't want to dive in and have to deal with these things. A lot of people don't want to take accountability that you fucked up. The system got us and fucked us all up. You know what I mean? So just because I'm fucked up don't mean that I would put my daughter and not be as supportive for her and put her in a better, place, space, and give her, more opportunity with life without having to deal with all the other weird stuff that's going on out here. If they shut the system down now, men, not these jobs, men and males would be the protectors and providers. Unfortunately, a lot of women don't like hearing that shit because we're in the Western society where it's built right now. But even in the Western society, if you look at the homeless people, most homeless women have a man for protection and provision. Look at the homeless society. You don't have to always go to far out countries. Sometimes you could just analyze what the fuck is in your backyard. Every time I'm outside or I go someplace near downtown or areas where homeless people congregate at, I never see single homeless females. They're always with the man. Walking outside the street, they with a man. Tucked off in a tent, they with a man, because they know they need that protection and provision. And these are homeless people who was a part of this system. But when it came down to natural law, they understood what was the deciding factor that takes charge. The deciding factor that takes charge is, hey, I'm a woman. I'm going to need a man to kind of help protect and provide for me, even though I can do certain things to kind of provide, but I need that protection. It's dangerous out here, especially when you out here having to survive. I know a lot of us are in survival mode, but I mean as far as like on that level of homelessness, that's as close to natural law as you're going to get being in the middle of Western society. So what you going to say, the homeless people are wrong? You going to say the people in the other parts of the world is wrong? It's like, nah. You don't have a lot of good leaders out here to follow. I definitely understand that's a lot of men that are not leaders. And for the men that's not leaders, everybody cannot lead. You got to get with somebody who can lead, you know what I'm saying? But you do have to be able to lead your family to a degree. So maybe you're not a leader for the community, but you got to figure out how to be a leader for your household, But this spiritual dating is dead. It's too tricky. It's too conflicted. you know, you could care about somebody and trying to show them that you care about them, but in the demonic world, they want you to pretend like you don't care. And then when you start doing things to show that you don't care, that's when they start caring more. And it's just like, you realize they're forcing you to operate backwards, right? They're doing the same thing where they turn the word bad into good. They like, oh, I'm a bad bitch. So I'm just thinking you a bad witch. You know, you turning bad into, you're trying to put a good condensation on the terminology bad. You're trying to flip what the creator has going, you know, and do your own thing with it. And it's like, you can try that, but it's not gonna last. It's not gonna last. So just try to get back to understanding the core roots of these things. Like, yes, we are in a society where it's at now, you know. You got your police for protection, you know. You got your jobs for finances, for, you know, for living and all of these things. So it's like, of course, every female gets to that space as well too, where it's like, oh, I don't need no man. You should need a man. I don't know why that's a bad thing. Like, don't no man want no woman that don't need them. So it's retarded to me when I hear females say that shit. I don't need no man, I want a man. No, every man wants to be needed. Because if you only want me, then you could disappear anytime you want to. And most women don't have no loyalty. It's that simple. It's the wrong playbook. If you was using the God Creator playbook, you would have some kind of loyalty there, you know? But that's not what's happening out here. Even if you are a being that didn't get caught up cheating, even though everybody used the same thing. Oh, I left because he cheated. I left because he cheated. I left. That's like saying I threw my car away because it got a flat. Like, you trying to tell me for the past 50 years, even though I just said my grandfather had a whole 2 families, taking care of both. Both families was good. It wasn't one of those weird situations. But the witches out here in today's society feel like they got to own men like property. So if you get a flat tire or something, it's like, oh, well, you know, I gotta throw this car away. If you dealing with a witchy nigga, yes, throw the car away. But 9 times out of 10, if you dealing with the creator, that man has been honest with you. If you dealing with the creator, he's dealing with the creator, that man has been honest with you. So if it has been other people that had got involved, I'm pretty sure the man in the beginning told you that it might be other women that he might entertain. That's honesty. If you don't want it, cool, but it's honesty, you know? But I would just prefer to just be, you know, put your methods up there. You either get down with the program or you're not getting down with the program. It makes it a whole lot easier. I'd rather be building and growing towards something than sitting around wasting time, spending hours on the phone, or like hours being around each other, going to this place, that place, or having all these weird dead conversations that ain't really going nowhere. Like, I don't know how to carry on shallow conversation but for so long, because in my world, when I'm solo, I'm always trying to figure out the next steps, building and growing and doing these things. So when I got my person beside me, they should be making life easier, not harder for me. And the same thing for the females. When you get with your leader, life should be getting easier for you. It shouldn't be getting harder and more difficult and more chaotic, even though you will have turmoil. Turmoil is inevitable, you know what I mean? But I ain't want to run it up too long. You know, this spiritual dating shit is dead. It is dead. You know what I mean? It's a lot less value on the box. You can find box laying out here on the ground. It just comes falling out the sky. You know, they'll come drop the box on you, and then get the hell up out the way. Like, yeah. I just wanted to come over. They come over with their little mask and I just wanted to come see what's up with the sausage, you know what I mean, and get out the way. Or you may not even hear shit. Women, you got to stop making it so accessible. You got to have some discipline. Condoms are not protection. No sex is the real protection. Condoms is not protection. Birth control doesn't control your birth. Not having sex controls your birth. This shit is so fucking weird that I just, oh man. I hit the double dutch in the jump rope. I'm sitting over there like, do I go? Am I getting ready to go? And I'm like, let's go. Then I jump straight out of there. Like, you can't sit in it for a long time. Because it's going to put you in a space of, oh, you got to pretend not to care. Now you're starting to be artificial and superficial. Now you're starting to take on their energy and vibration more, opposed from pulling them over to your vibration or towards the creator's vibration, you know what I mean? But tap in everything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.